What's up, guys? I'm Chris Grant. Some of you know me as DJ Valence. Some of you guys know me as a crazy dude from the record store. I also do comedy, and been talking to some people from the scene, locally, regionally, etc. Got a different guest for you. This time it is Matt Neff from Colombia. Matt.
Hello, hello.
So Matt Neff is a native Colombian, as you can tell. Let's see here. How long did you live there? Most of your life?
Yeah, born and raised, and then I moved to Springfield for school.
I always felt like Columbia was like a nicer version of Springfield. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, our homeless, they at least have the decency to live underground.
Where?
Underground, where it's warm and safe, and they don't have to worry about, the actual dangerous people.
Do you guys have like a cave system? Do you have?
Yeah, you ever seen, what was it, Time Machine? Like the Morlocks. Yeah, that's how our homeless operate.
I have no idea what that is.
You've never seen the Time Machine?
No, I don't. Yeah.
H.G. Wells. Goddamn.
H.G. Wells?
He wrote the book, and then they made the movie.
Orson Welles?
No,
I'm down with Orson Welles.
I mean,
I am a little older than you.
I actually won an Orson Welles lookalike contest.
You did? Remember that time I called you John Wayne Gacy on stage?
Yeah.
Did you get mad or no?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just mad you made that joke the one night I wasn't in clown makeup.
Matt Neff. What about the guy who stole Pee Wee Herman's bike?
Yeah.
That was
my dad. It's my birthday. My dad said I can have anything I want, and I want your pink cone.
Oh. Yeah. I was making fun of myself earlier, by the way. Did you hear what Russell Henley called me?
No, what did he call you?
He said, I look like Rob Dyrdek if you got poor. So.
Okay, when you said, I was like, okay, I had heard that one. I feel like Russell says a bunch of stuff about you.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's the only one I've heard.
Well, that's the only good. That's the only funny one.
Oh well, hey, that's okay. Anyway, so you in Colombia? Let's start. How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing stand-up comedy for about 3 years now.
And then before that, you did.
I did improv in Colombia. I just gotten my undergrad. I had moved back to Colombia, and I was just looking for something to do. Then I saw this like community theater had like a local improv group, so I was like, that'll be a good way to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it was just super, super fun. I loved it. I will say though, like around the time I joined, that's right when COVID hit. So we kept the group up as much as best we could. We did like a lot of like Zoom improv shows.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I know you've done like Zoom like stand-up shows. Like imagine like 5 people trying to be funny at the same time over Zoom.
Stand-up you started basically when you came down here.
Yeah. I moved here for grad school, and yeah, I missed doing live performances, and there wasn't like it's a very like if you've seen like any of like the theater shows down here, they tend to only cast like the people who've been doing it in Springfield for like 10 years. So I figured maybe there's something else I could do, and then I saw like, oh, there's stand up in town, I could go do that. And then so that's kind of how I found that path.
That's pretty cool, and I think what that brings up in me is that just the fact that creative people have to have an outlet.
Yeah.
Like if you couldn't do what you wanted to do, you had to find somewhere to put that.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm all about too. That's why we're here. That's really cool. And then so you started doing your stand up at the Blue Room here.
Yeah. I did when I think it was like after they had gotten their new building. I don't remember when they got their new building, like their current place. But I remember the first time I went up, I didn't even do like a set really. I had this like prepared character monologue. Like I was like this I went up on stage and like for 3 minutes pretended to be this guy like who lives in his dad's basement talking about like how there's no lesbian kissing in Hocus Pocus. And I just did that for 3 minutes like I had like a pair of headphones on that I brought on stage with me. And I remember I got off stage. I don't remember who came up to me, like, but someone who'd been there a while came up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, you got some funny lines. Come back next week. Do actual stand up."
Oh, damn.
So yeah, that was kind of bittersweet. It's like, okay, like there's I can at least get a laugh out of people, but I should probably actually do stand up proper.
So here's my question about that. Do you think now, after 3 years, do you think that was the right approach? What do you think the right approach is? Did it help you? Did it hurt you? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it was just good finding because like my background is kind of like writing like comedy, you know.
well, what I mean is them telling you that.
I think
Was
it
that
was
the right approach?
I think it was helpful to me because it kind of gave me this idea of like, okay, I can still do these kinds of characters, but I can blend it into a way where it's like I'm presenting it through my perspective.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, that could be pretty harsh to hear, like, your first time. Like, come back and do actual comedy or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's.
Well, it's like,
But,
and even then, I knew I had seen like 10 people go up before me. Is like, and then like doing like stand-ups, like, okay, I'm gonna do it different. You know, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna come at comedy and like do it differently from everyone else. And it was like
you're going to reinvent the wheel.
exactly,
Do something
yeah,
nobody's ever seen.
yeah, like what every
Yeah.
20-something's comedian tries to do at one point.
Yep. Well, yeah, I think people are very egocentric, and you have to realize, I think, to be even close to successful, that it's not even about you anyway.
Exactly.
It's about the audience. I mean, it is about you, but it's definitely about the audience.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
yeah. Let's see, man. You mentioned the Outland Ballroom for comedy. You said you did some shows there.
Yeah.
Right? I think.
Yeah. I just want to say about that real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the way they had like the list there, like they had comedians go, and then they had a band that was supposed to go after. And somehow I screwed up and signed up after the band.
Oh.
So by the time I went on, like everyone had left, and there was only like 3 people left. So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna do my set anyways. I get up, and like those 3 like guys were just laughing the entire a good chunk of the time. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play to them because they're the only ones here. I'm not gonna pretend like there's anyone else here. And God, that was like, I think, and they were still like rough jokes. This was like when I was like 6 months into it, but like just kind of reassuring, like, okay, as long as there's people in the room and I can get a laugh out of someone, then that's not wasted stage time.
No, it's not, and I think you learn from each different situation. I don't want to go into a huge thing about me, but me and Dr. Damon recently, we went to Hood's Truck Stop, and we were talking about comedy, and we literally did a show there and used a wooden spoon as a microphone for 2 people, and one of them was working, and she had to get up and go back to work. So we did it for one guy, but he had never seen a live comedy show. That was his introduction to live comedy, and he was in his 30s.
Damn.
And we took pictures with us. He loved it, dude. Like, he was into it.
Hell of an introduction.
Yes, it was so cool. Yeah, he needs to see some better comedy, but it was cool. It was awesome. I didn't feel like it was wasted either. So, Paulson, how's this one going?
No rubber duckies. Find someone with a G.
I wanted to ask you about your influences as far as comedy, like who you think's funny. What got you into comedy? What made you want to do it?
Right. Well, I remember like when I was 10 years old, like Young Frankenstein was my absolute favorite movie, kind of at Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder. That's kind of what shaped my sense of comedy, just this idea of like this cynical, subversive comedy that can still be silly and playful at times.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I really gravitated towards.
I'm super into, or I was super into some of Mel Brooks stuff. Young Frankenstein, I think I saw, but I don't remember a whole lot of it. People are gonna hate this. Blazing Saddles. I watched it. Don't cancel me. So yeah, love that kind of humor, man. Gene Wilder in Blazing Saddles was amazing. My favorite scene in that whole movie with him was when he was trying to get the chess piece out of the guy's hand and nobody moves.
Yeah.
And he still gets it. Love it. So with that style of comedy, I guess maybe there's some prop comedy to go along with that. And I've seen you on stage. It's weird. It's not every time. It's like a treat. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because you do prop comedy, but we never know when it's coming. What's that all about, man? What makes you want to do prop comedy sometimes?
Sometimes it's more so like to call it Kaufman-esque, I feel would be insulting to Andy Kaufman. But it's more so like if I don't feel like I have a good set, it's something like, how can I make people laugh without having to say anything? And so I think the first one I did was this bit with I would ask someone for $1, and I would turn it into change. Does anyone need change for $1? They give me $1, and then I'd spit quarters out of my mouth. And that was just a trick of oh, he's had quarters in his mouth for 5 minutes.
I think the favorite one, I'm not even sure if I was there that night, but I've heard about it. And I think people need to know, there was a sand night. You had sand in your pockets?
So the way that started, I would go up on stage and I would pretend to look for my notes. Then I'd reach my pocket and pull out a pile of sand. It's oh, sorry, that's my grandfather's ashes. So that's what it became.
So, and you left his ashes at Bugsy's, right? Was it?
I did, yeah. People started getting mad because I would end up dumping sand all over the stage.
Oh man! And then there was one. So there was that one. My other favorite was the candy bars. You just ate a bunch of candy bars. You named them.
That was a Halloween one. I figured, it's Halloween. There's a bowl of candy. Let me try to make as many candy puns as I can.
It was so bad it was good.
It was so bad.
It was. And then he'll just chug a beer sometimes. He'll just go up there and chug a beer. I think it's when he doesn't bring enough material.
Yeah,
I need to burn 30 seconds. Here we go.
I need to burn 5 minutes. Let me chug 3 beers in 5 minutes.
Oh. Something else I don't know that everybody knows about you. I find it pretty awesome. You've got a pretty big YouTube following, right?
Damn right.
Yeah.
15,000 subscribers.
There it is. But they're a loyal fan base. They, comment, they, really.
Yeah, that took a long ass time to cultivate.
What's the name of the channel? We'll put it down in the description.
Yeah.
But
just look up Matt Neff on YouTube. Yeah, it's under my name.
Dang.
Yeah.
You got how much are your keywords worth? That's
a good ass question.
Yeah. Yeah. Cost per click, Matt Neff, 16 cents.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, you do a lot of YouTube content. That's awesome. Check him out. He's got comedy shows.
I got the 50th episode of FUDW coming out on my channel. Time of recording this Friday.
Yes, FUDW. You know this guy? A lot of people know this guy.
Yeah, did you like the cartoon Arthur, but hate the little sister? Well, so did I, and I made 50 videos talking about how much this fictional child sucks.
This guy.
This guy.
This is the guy behind the channel.
Yes.
Depending on who's asking, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So you got some shows coming up. Columbia, you're everywhere. Where are you going?
Yeah, I got one this Friday in Columbia. It's a showcase I'm doing with a bunch of friends. And then I've got a Beefy Stool show coming up in April. That'll be in Joplin. You've done shows with Russell before. He's awesome.
I had Russell as a headliner at a show before.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard he did really, really well.
He did.
Nice.
Yes. Yep. And we did a show there. I haven't done any. That's the only one I've done with Russell. So
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I've got another show coming up in June. It'll be in Baton Rouge at the Comedy Theater.
that's a long drive.
Yeah,
What-
it's a 10-hour drive one way.
Don't you do that? Haven't you done that before? Don't you have like
I
a
did.
relationship down there or something like that?
Yeah. I met the person who put together the show. I randomly met them at like an Arkansas open mic
Okay.
last year. They're like, "Hey, I'm putting together some shows in Baton Rouge. You should just come down." I was like, "Give me 20, 25 minutes. I will make the drive."
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. Yeah.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. I love meeting. I've done some road trips too, and I love meeting other comics just around the country. Like they're super welcoming. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah. No, it's very nice. Like, especially whenever I go to like Kansas City or St. Louis to do like a mic or something.
Mhm.
Like, I'll have friends; they'll just let me crash on their couch,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that's super super helpful.
Yep. That's one thing that I love about the comedy community for sure. It's just a lot of people. It's weird, man. There's positives and negatives. There's so much support, but then there's also the other side. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I like all the positives. So with comedy, this is really cool. You've got a career focus in mind. You know what you want to do, and that is
Writing for television.
yeah.
That's mainly what I want to do. I would love to be the showrunner of my own comedy show.
Very cool. Like, so what kind of comedy show would it be? Like a sitcom, or would it be like a what? What's your vision on that? Or can you even say? Would you want to
Well,
say?
not necessarily like I feel like the definition, to sound like a pretentious film student, I feel like the definition of a sitcom has kind of evolved over time. Like if you've like seen like The Bear, like that's being qualified, that qualifies as like a comedy series.
Okay. I haven't. I kind of.
But even kind of just that idea of like some of the stuff I've made, it's mostly just about like damaged, emotionally stunted people, like who like kind of need a kick in the ass and need to emotionally mature. Like I got a pilot I'm working on, trying to film a proof of concept for, about this a-hole architect who gets fired from his firm, but then ends up becoming god of this like planet that's like basically like a reboot of Earth.
Oh, that's interesting. Like,
Yeah, just like trying to like take like human flaws and apply them to absurd situations.
okay. I love stuff like that. The more out there it is, and I think that's pretty out there, don't you?
Yeah, and like I filmed a short with John Spangler last year. It's called you might have to bleep this out. How to fuck up a heist.
I saw that actually. I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was cool. You guys did a good job. Camera work was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be like, that was my first time directing something longer than 3 minutes. We filmed that over MLK weekend of that year, and like in hindsight, I was like very underprepared for like the amount of stuff
Oh yeah.
I want to do. Like, and you've seen it, like, and like you can watch. It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on my channel. But like, if you've seen it, there's like a lot of like specific, like quick shots, and the fact that we got that all in 3 days, like we were very rushed for time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Production's hard, man. There's always something you're forgetting.
Yeah.
Always something going wrong, just like tonight.
Do you want to talk about tonight?
Do I want to talk? Yeah.
Yeah, let's-
Interview me, damn it.
Yeah. So
Interview
Tell
me.
me-
Nobody talks about me.
tell me what was
Thank
what
you.
was happening when I pulled up here tonight? Where were you?
We can skip forward to more.